So people have a lot of questions. What really happened with Snow White? So after a long wait, Disney's new Snow White finally came out last week, and to put it mildly, my friends, this has been a colossal mess. I mean, it's been a colossal mess since the very beginning, basically, but this release, this premiere.
After what felt like a non-stop circus of online backlash, fiery interviews, political drama, and full-on fan mutinies, the moment finally arrived, the moment everyone saw coming, yet still gasped when it actually happened. Rachel Zegler, out. And guess who's sliding into that coveted glass slipper? None other than Brett Cooper. Yep, rumor has it Disney's rolling the dice and bringing Brett on board for what's shaping up to be a full-blown fairy tale reset. But let's not act like this is just about swapping out one actress for another. No, this is deeper. What Disney just did isn't just a casting change, it's a digital exorcism, a studio-wide cleansing. They're wiping the slate so clean, it's like the Zegler chapter never even existed. Erased, forgotten, buried. Disney's done being the babysitter to a PR disaster. They're done cleaning up behind Rachel, and now they're flipping the entire Snow White saga on its head.
If you're in a Disney movie, be in a Disney movie. Be excited, be happy. I'm not looking to you for answers on foreign conflicts. You know what I'm saying? On major Middle East affairs and how to negotiate peace deals. I'm not looking to Rachel Zegler, a dumbass little actress, for how to negotiate world peace. So just do the movie. And I really wonder if Rachel Zegler is going to have a career years down the line, because how can you book an actress? I'm sure she got millions of dollars for the film. I'm sure she was compensated well. You book an actress, you pay her well, and then she goes out there and speaks so negatively about the project and everybody involved. So I think producers are going to think twice about having her come on to join their films.
From the very beginning, Rachel's involvement with Snow White had people talking, but not in the buzzworthy kind of way. It was messy, from her casting to those eyebrow-raising interviews where she shaded the original film to the constant political takes. It felt like every month there was a new headline dragging her name and Disney's brand through the mud. And Disney, they played it cool. They stood by her for a while.
Narcissist. Original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Okay.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
But eventually, they cracked. Enough was enough. The boycott threats, the conservative fan outrage, the mounting drama on social media. Disney reportedly couldn't take the heat anymore, and instead of risking the success of one of their most iconic legacies, they hit the panic button. Quietly, without any official announcement, they launched a soft exit. That meant slowly scrubbing Rachel out of everything. Promotional clips? Gone. Press coverage? Faded. Teasers? Re-edited. It was like watching someone vanish in real time. And fans picked up on it immediately. That cold energy shift, palpable. Yesterday's star became today's ghost. Now, Rachel's been radio silent. But come on, we know her. Whether it's a cryptic TikTok, a snarky subtweet, or heartfelt notes at post, she's gonna say something. But until then, the silence is deafening. Meanwhile, while Rachel's falling out, Brett Cooper's name? Rising fast. It all started when Brett's exit from the Daily Wire took everyone by surprise. No press release, no farewell tour, just gone. And that shook the table. Especially because Brett was front and center in a wave of new projects, including one particularly pointed at Disney. Enter Snow White and the Evil Queen, the Daily Wire's answer to what they felt was Disney's woke remake disaster. That version starred Brett Cooper as a classic, old-school, no-nonsense Snow White, the kind that echoed charm, strength, and grace, not social media sass. It was supposed to be a major move to reshape conservative entertainment through Bent Key, their family-friendly platform, but then it all collapsed. When Brett left the Daily Wire in late 2023, everything halted. Promotions were pulled, release dates scrapped. The teaser trailer, which showed Brett fully suited up in fairy tale costume, was suddenly all fans had, and after that, silence. The project turned from a bold clapback to Disney into an unfinished fantasy collecting dust. And it wasn't just about creative disagreements, this was personal. Because when Brett left, she took the soul of that movie with her. Daily Wire's own co-founder Jeremy Boring had made it loud and clear this movie was a political statement, a cultural protest, a sword to Disney's so-called agenda. But Brett, she didn't want to play political puppet. Turns out, Brett's contract tied the film directly to her. So without her, the legal wheels stopped turning. No Brett, no movie. Now, Brett hasn't aired the dirty laundry herself, but the internet? Oh, the internet did it for her. Whispers turned to theories, and theories into tea. Sources hinted that Brett and the Daily Wire leadership clashed over creative direction. Brett allegedly wanted wanted timeless storytelling while they wanted hot bullet outrage. And that was the final straw. What could have been Brett's big breakout turned into a lesson in Hollywood power plays. Insiders now describe the whole ordeal as frosty, tense, cold, and irreparable. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, it did. Social media sleuths noticed Brett started unfollowing Daily Wire's top dogs. Then she deleted a wedding photo with Reagan Conrad, one of her closest collaborators, and the internet lost it. Because that photo wasn't just a pic, it was a statement, a sign of solidarity. To delete it, it screamed betrayal. And Brett's mom, she was out here liking shady fan posts that accused Regan of being a snake. You know it's bad when the mama gets involved. That's when you know it's real. This wasn't just a contract dispute. This was scorched earth.
So Reagan, is that her name? Took over the comments section. How did that feel?
Friendships are hard.
Are you guys still friends?
I would say so.
Would you like to still be friends?
Of course. I talked about that actually in another Dear Brett thing. Adult friendships are really hard. I always think it's gonna get easier. Kind of just gets harder.
The internet was watching it all unfold in real time. Regan, who quietly replaced Brett on the comments section, the very show Brett built, became the accidental villain in this drama. Whether it was intentional or not, fans felt the betrayal deeply. Then came the kicker. Word got out that the biggest clash between Brett and the Daily Wire was over creative control. Apparently, the Daily Wire wanted to sprinkle the movie with anti-woke jabs, cultural digs, and own the libs energy. Brett, she wanted a fairy tale, a timeless one, something that would resonate across the aisle, not just echo chamber clicks. She wanted to act, not be a mouthpiece. That battle of visions was just too much, and when Reagan slid into Brett's seat, that was the nail in the coffin. To fans, it felt like erasure. To Brett, it probably felt like betrayal.
Do you feel that she was disloyal in taking the role?
No, she's an adult. And this is what I will always stand by. You have to make the decision that is good for you and your family. I did that, and she did that.
Why do you think the friendship fell apart? If you wish her the best of success.
Friendships are hard.
Do you want to say anything to her?
That's a difficult question.
And now, while Snow White and the Evil Queen is officially on ice, the Daily Wire is still toying with the idea of salvaging the project without Brett. Rumor has it they might recast Snow White with, guess who? Reagan Conrad. But if they actually do that, oh boy, the internet is going to erupt. Because this isn't just about a recast anymore. This is about loyalty. Fans weren't just sold on Snow White. They were sold on Brett as Snow White. She was the brand. The teaser, the face, the magic. And now they're trying to sell the same story with a different soul. Good luck. To make things worse, Brett also voiced a major character in Mr. Burcham, another Daily Wire show. With her gone, the future of that show is up in the air too. Season 1 was already shaky with low numbers and mixed feedback. Now they've got to either recast or rewrite her out entirely. And that's not just messy, it's expensive. The Daily Wire thought they could build an entertainment empire off personality power. But when your personalities start walking out the door, your empire starts crumbling. So now, every attempt to move forward without Brett just feels like PR duct tape. And here's where it gets even juicier. While the Daily Wire is trying to figure out how to salvage their brand, Disney, they're thriving on the switch. They've reportedly scrapped the entire woke reboot concept and are going full retro. Classic gowns, old school romance, and that fairy tale warmth we all grew up with. The mission? Bring back the magic. And Brett, she fits that image perfectly. Traditional, graceful, elegant, but most of all, safe. No viral rants, no controversy, no headlines overshadowing the movie, just pure Disney princess charm. Rachel Zegler, she's been fully white from the Disney narrative. She's not in promo reels, not in press kits, not in BTS interviews, not even in digital thumbnails. Her entire Snow White reign deleted. And this isn't just a Disney thing anymore. This Rachel Zegler wipeout is going industry-wide. Studios that were once lining up to work with her, now they're backing away in silence. New offers? Practically non-existent. Marketing campaigns she once headlined scrubbed clean. It's like someone hit a mute button on her entire Hollywood career. And the worst part, this was supposed to be her breakout era. Her Disney princess moment. But instead of fairy dust and fame, Rachel ended up with controversy and career pause. Maybe even a permanent one. This isn't a situation where fans rejected the character. They didn't boo the dress or the dwarves. They booed the execution. They booed the shade-throwing interviews. They booed the smug commentary. They booed the idea that Snow White, of all things, needed to be reimagined as something edgy and sarcastic. And now, Disney's learned the hard way. Audiences don't hate change. They just hate change that disrespects the original magic. And what they want now is simple. Bring back the wonder. the dream. The classic. So Disney is retreating hard. They're going back to their roots, cinematic, enchanting, and family-friendly. And guess who's being whispered about in all the right rooms? Brett freaking Cooper. Yep. While Daily Wire's projects are on creative life support, Brett's star is rising somewhere much bigger and way less controversial. Sources say the new Snow White vision is channeling old-school Disney glamour. Think Audrey Hepburn meets Cinderella. Elegance, charm, and that timeless Disney sparkle. Not viral TikTok commentary, not activist energy, but genuine storybook magic. And Brett, she checks every single box. The irony here? Brett didn't get her Snow White debut through the Daily Wire. That fairy tale flopped before it ever began, but now she may be getting the real crown, the Snow White crown, from the studio that started it all. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler's not just out of the role, she's being digitally erased from the franchise. She's not being included in franchise planning. Her likeness isn't in any of the new Snow White press kits. You won't find her in behind-the-scenes B-rolls or even on the official merch pages. It's like Disney hit Control+Z on the Zegler era. And fans, they're noticing. Hollywood's watching too, quietly distancing, slowly pivoting. It's like the entire industry took a collective step back and whispered, not worth it, because what started as a bold casting choice turned into a PR nightmare. And while Rachel was once celebrated for speaking her truth, the public mood shifted fast. Suddenly, that same outspoken charm became seen as arrogance, entitlement, and disrespect toward a beloved legacy. She didn't just lose a role, she lost the goodwill of an entire audience. Now people aren't asking when her next film drops, they're wondering if she'll even get one. Meanwhile, Brett Cooper's moment is quietly building. The audiences she cultivated online, the ones who felt burned by Hollywood, are now cheering her on. And with Disney reportedly hunting for someone who brings warmth, elegance, and universal appeal, it's clear who they've got their eye on. Brett doesn't need edgy, she doesn't need to turn the fairy tale into a headline, she just is the fairy tale. It's not just about acting, it's about presence. And she's got it. And now the whispers are growing louder that Disney might hand Brett Cooper the ultimate do-over. Not a parody, not a knockoff, but the Snow White throne. The real deal. Can you imagine Brett dressed in that iconic gown, singing to birds, bringing the OG magic back, and not as a political statement, but as a cinematic reset? That's the ending fans have been waiting for. But of course, Hollywood never moves without drama. If Disney does cast Brett, there will be noise. There will be backlash from the same people who once defended Rachel. But this time, the tides feel different, because Disney isn't just recasting a princess, they're reclaiming their brand. They're betting on nostalgia, on safety, on storytelling that doesn't spark protests. And Brett, she's the calm after the storm, the golden child walking out of the ashes of what Rachel scorched down. So what happens next? Will Brett officially get crowned Snow White too? Will Rachel try to stage a comeback through another role, or will she disappear into indie projects and TikTok lives? Right now, it's all speculation. But what's clear is this: Rachel Zegler's Disney era is done. And Brett Cooper, she's the name on everyone's lips. Hollywood loves a comeback, but it loves a clean image even more. So buckle up, because this reboot just got personal. Reboot just got personal.